live. Episode 19. Back at it again. Nick Foles. Of course, I'm the homie Moss Money. Of course, I got my right hand with me, the homie S.Dot. What's up, bro?
What's good with you, bro?
Can't call it, man. We back for another episode.
Another week. So you know.
Another week. I told y'all shouldn't have let us in, man. Shouldn't have let us into the dance, let us into the tournament. Big Dick Nick does it again.
Pause.
Thank you. Gets it done in the clutch. Doinky doink from. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Hester, man.
Yeah. You know, right. You're right. You're right. Cody, yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
If Hester wouldn't have tipped that thing might have went in.
But yeah, so we're back here again. We gotta win. Chicago's out of there, on to New Orleans, and we'll get to that in the show. But remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, iTunes, SoundCloud. I'll get on Spotify, so I've had a couple people ask me about that as well. Whatever media outlet, follow us. I'm also doing my daily plays, $25. I've been hot on college. I've been hot on NBA basketball, and you already know I went 4-0 last week in my NFL plays. $25 on daily picks and $125 a week. Get at me at MoneyPot Podcast. But as always, we go to the culture. We look at the community, things that are going on. And right now, this Kelly shit is really hot. We had talked about it last week. We were going to get into it last week. I think I was like drunk or something, to be honest with you, because I had totally missed it or forgot about it. You know, always got to have that brown.
Because at this point, man, it's just like.
You know what? But I'm actually happy. Not happy, but I'm actually kind of glad we laid off it because now it's simmer, right? Everything's kind of like, you know, you've had everybody talk about it and have their own two-piece about it and stuff like that. Right. But I think what's really important, what is a great point that you made last week, and I'll let you speak on it, was that why are we just looking at R. Kelly? Right? R. Kelly is not the only person in this balloon. And go ahead and, you know, tell the folks about what you said to me last week or who else or somebody else we should be looking at.
I mean, listen,
keep it a bean.
I'm going to keep it a bean. He deserves every scrutiny he's getting.
Absolutely.
All the scrutiny that he's getting, he deserves it.
Yes, sir.
It's not to the point that it's taking it just off of him, you know, because, hey, well, Elvis did it when he married a 14-year-old. Honestly, if you look at Puffy, his first son, mom, was like 15.
Right.
And they pretty much kept that under the wrap.
Mm-hmm. Tell him.
I mean, it's a few. Hugh Hefner, man.
Go ahead. There it is.
Hugh Hefner.
Put Hugh out there.
And I read something that there was, like, back in 1970s, in the 70s, he put a new photo of a girl that was, like, 10 out.
Naked.
Yeah. So
crazy.
I'm not 100% true how true it is, but
it's a rumor that floated around.
Yeah, that and
it's not surprising.
And my thing is, like, you know, R. Kelly, man, the shit that he did, he deserves everything that he.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm taking his side.
Right. Of course not. Yeah, of course not.
But I also feel like at the same time we put these celebrities on a different pedestal and forget that they are, you know, human beings as well.
Right,
like,
right.
You know, it comes out that, quote unquote, him and his brother was molested as kids.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was from their older sister.
Well, I did hear that he really was like infatuated with his mom.
Okay.
Like he really, like literally loved his mom on like a different type of level, Kelly.
Right.
He's actually said that. Like he's actually said that he literally asked his mom to marry him.
Oh wow.
On some like kind of like mental stuff. Yeah. But I want to. I like.
And that's what I think that it is too. That you touched on mental. Like it's more so, you know, once they get to being a star, once they hit a certain, you know, part in like stardom, now we forget about all of the problems that they do have.
Right.
You know, he needs help. He needed help at that point.
Right. And the homie B Screws was on the forum talking about where the parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I'm not leaving my child to go on a plane out of the state
with a grown man
by an adult.
Right.
With a grown man.
Right. Right.
But here's the thing too, though. It's not the parents' fault that this man was sick either. So I mean, I do put some of the blame on the parents, not fully, but a lot of it. I mean, it's him. He the one that did it, and some of them were openly with it. Because nowadays, like in the state of Pennsylvania, the state law is 16 years old for consensual sex. So if I'm 35 and
but that's now, though. That's not back when he was.
Bro, it was in different states. It's been like that.
Right.
It's been like that. 15, 16. States have been like that for years. But now in Pennsylvania, it changed maybe like the last, I think like 5 or 6 years it changed. And the government is saying it's okay for someone my age or older to date a 16-year-old person. Well, female or male. If you're a female and you want to date a younger kid, it's okay by their standards.
Yeah, and what I want to touch on was what we were talking about. We're passing judgment on R. Kelly, but what about the priests of the Catholic Church? Actually, I saw a video of Demi Moore when she was in her mid-20s kissing a boy when he was 12, and literally like kissing a boy on his lips. There's a video of that out. What about Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, Donald Trump? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got this spot. So the begs the question, and it's obviously the elephant in the room. If R. Kelly was white or gay.
Well, I don't think gay has anything to do with it.
No?
No. I don't understand the gay part. I mean, gay don't have anything to do with it. But if he was a white man,
I think it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
And then to top it off, Lifetime is about to do a Michael Jackson piece about the issues they had, Michael, and those accusations. But and then this brings us back to me. They had OJ, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson is on the works. Like, what's up with all the spotlight of trying to depict black men with like rapists?
If they
kid
doing
molesters.
it, they deserve to be exposed to me. I don't care if you black, white, Chinese, whatever you are.
Right.
If this is what you're doing, you should be exposed.
So why aren't we? So where's the exposure? Like, it's been hundreds of years of documents of priests.
Yeah. Now here's my thing, and I hear people say this. Oh well, we should mute R. Kelly. We shouldn't play R. Kelly music. Let's ban his music from the radios. Well, why y'all still going to Catholic church and confiding in a priest?
Facts.
Y'all go into the pulpit or the booth, whatever you want to call it, confession stand.
Did you say the pulpit?
Yeah, that's like up at the top. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But you go into and you confess to someone that's molesting kids. Now, I'm not saying all of them do it, but a whole lot.
That's a whole lot, bro.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot.
Like,
it's bad.
Like it's a culture within a culture.
It's bad. It's bad. It's
so
crazy.
I mean, I'm supposed to tell you my sins.
And you're a bona fide sinner.
Yeah.
Straight to hell
again,
type shit.
Yeah, they're humans. But you're a pedophile. You're preying on younger kids.
Crazy.
But I'm supposed to tell you what I can do. And now you're telling me to go say 15 Hail Marys, and I'm going to tell God to forgive you because you're one of the closest people to God.
Crazy. So literally the point of the conversation is that if we're going to put a microscope or we're going to look at R. Kelly, if he's the example, so be it. If he did the deed, so be it. But at the same time, you got to open and see the bigger picture because he ain't the only one. Best believe that. But another story that I found was, I don't know if you remember the name, Satoya Brown, was a story about how she was in a sex cult, or, she was in the black market getting passed around.
She was getting sold
for sex, getting sold for sex.
Sex trafficking.
Yeah, sex. There it is. Sex trafficking, and she escaped and killed her captive, and got first-degree murder at 16 years old, and they just exonerated her, I believe, after 15 years. Crazy, crazy story. So that's a blessing. As people like a lot of our activists or black leaders are still working to do prison reform. That is a great story that I read as well. And another thing, I always talk about.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead. No, go.
There was a story recently, and this is way closer to home. It happened in Philly.
Right.
There was a young lady that was 15 years old. She threw her newborn in a dumpster.
Crazy.
This was about a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she was arrested. They went to her house, arrested her and her mom because she had the baby at home.
Okay.
But come to find out, her mom's boyfriend was raping her and got her pregnant. That's why she threw the baby in the trash. And they're still charging her. Now, I mean, I don't know. I don't think she should be charged, honestly.
No, you can't throw a baby in a dumpster, bro.
Yeah, you can't. But how messed up mentally are you at 15?
No, I completely agree. And she was probably scared, didn't know what to do.
I think her mom helped her, though. Now, the mom should be charged to me.
Absolutely.
Like,
but
I don't think the kid should be charged at all because she's.
No, it's still a person, bro.
I mean, it is.
You know what I mean?
But
like,
at the same time, like.
What's she being charged with?
I have to look it up.
Right.
I don't know what the charges are, but it said teen charge, 15 years old for throwing a baby in a dumpster.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just, do like they do in the movie, drop it off at church or,
But
put it down.
though.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. She was probably scared. Yeah,
you
know what I mean? So, obviously we can find 100 stories like that and, just talk about things going in the community. But those are a couple of things that I definitely wanted to point out that I definitely came across. But also, we always talk about money management. And one of the things that I found a good way to help better with your finances as you bankroll is writing down all your finances. A thing I do as well, writing down all your expenses and see if you can trim the fat. One thing I found, just for example, was that I have Hulu and Netflix. So it's kind of like, why do I have both? And it's just like, Netflix, I think, is going up in price. I think it's like $15 a month. But it still adds up at the end of the year where you've saved a little over $200. And that $200 could either be saved or go to an investment or so forth. So just a good money moss tip in savings is write down all your expenses. See if things that you can trim off the fat, as I call it, and live under your means of things that you might not really need is a necessity. Next, we saw the Sixers take an L tonight against the Hawks. What was a really bad loss. Even though Embiid didn't play, it's still a terrible loss. At home, mind you, as well. I got to ask you, I think we talked about this before, how Embiid's impact is on this team. And I looked up his numbers. I think he's averaging around 27 and 13. I think we talked about it earlier before we got on the show. James Harden is obviously, I think, the leading candidate as an MVP, just the offensive tear, just the tear that he's on, period. I think he had a triple-double tonight. But is Embiid in the top 3 in that MVP voting, you think?
Probably not.
Because, I mean, his stats, as in terms of numbers, don't say it, but I think his impact on the team. Because we've seen he's had, in big games.
Top 3, no.
No? Because in big games, he's shown up. I think in that last Boston game, in Boston, he had like 43 and 18. There's been a couple, 29 and 20. You know what I mean? Big man, big game, big numbers that we haven't seen almost since the Shaq days. So you would leave him out of the top 3? Who's your top 3? Obviously Harden. Bron?
Yeah.
And who's your third, you think?
mean, I still put Westbrook over top of Embiid right
Embiid.
now, just because
Even though Paul's been cooking now.
Paul been cooking, but Westbrook, he just impacts the game
right
on every level on the stat sheet.
I agree. I
But,
agree.
I mean, Embiid,
He's climbing. He's climbing, bro. They're a different team without him on the floor. Completely different.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's the. It's
I
funny.
think what his
Is he who's better, him or Cousins? I said Cousins.
Cousins.
Okay, cool. All right, that wasn't even. I wasn't even. I wasn't even a thought.
Now it's not. I think it's a lot closer than what it was before.
Yeah. No, I agree, but it's still Cousins.
Yeah, I'll take Cousins.
I take Boogie.
I mean, before the injury or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
what it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
You know, after the injury, but before the injury, I would rate Cousins over top of him.
So February 1st is the trade deadline. I know you've said before about they definitely need a bench. We've seen Shaman and some other people, Muscala, step up in some of the scoring aspects of it. Do you still stick with that they need a bench, or you think it's just really a player or two
They need a player off the bench.
off the bench that can really cook?
Yeah.
All right. I completely agree with that. And the funny thing is, before we move on to the Sixers, how about Ben Simmons with the turnaround shot?
Well,
You know what I mean? He's finally shooting, and it's going in. I mean, it's going in the last 5 seconds of the shot clock.
take it.
But I'd take a jumper from Ben Simmons. So shout out to Ben Simmons for finally making a goddamn jump shot. So let's get into football, man. That's why y'all here. Back at it again. The homie B.Diddy couldn't be with us, so we can't really go into depth about how he feels about a recap of his season. He went 23 and 25 on the season, a little bit under 5% with 3 pushes. I led the way at 38 and 30, around 56% on my rate. And I was up a little over 60 in mid-season, and I think I tailed off. But you had a crazy run at the end. I think you went on a streak when you was like 7-1 or 8-1 over a couple 2 to 3 weeks. You finished 28, 25, 53%. And just to let y'all know, professional gamblers, people who professionally say they do this, are clipping at 53, 54%. So when you come here and get free locks, you're getting as close to professional picks and gambling spots as you would if you would pay for it. So you're getting free plays, free locks at a percentile that is close or equivalent or even better than most of your professional gamblers that you might be listening to. So make sure y'all stay with us and check us out. Subscribe, like, all that. But let us get into the game. Let's break it down. Eagles versus New Orleans. Y'all motherfuckers shouldn't have let us in, man. Shouldn't have let us in. I think the first thing we need to get through and talk about, because it's obviously been a hot topic, and I'll pose the question, and I'm going to pose it to you, and I'm going to set up the story for you, bro. Obviously, the keep Wentz or Foles talk has been brewing. Everybody's been saying, you crazy, keep Wentz. But I think the conversation has gained more legs because of what Foles has been doing right now. So let me ask you this question. I'll ask you guys right here. I see you guys on Facebook joining, so thank you for doing that. And please feel free to ask any questions. I'm watching the thread right now. But if Foles gets us another ring, if he gets us and takes us to the bowl and gets another one back to back, and you have an offer on the table, rumor is the Denver Broncos, 2 first-round picks and Von Miller from Wentz. You pulling the trigger, bro.
You're not getting that for him. But
Are you pulling the trigger? Are you pulling the trigger? If they say
I'll probably trade Wentz first. Foles, because you definitely can get a first for Foles.
I don't want they're saying I want Wentz, 2 first-round picks and Von Miller. And the first-round pick, remember, this year is a top 12 pick. No? Wow. I think I'm pulling the trigger. Because for me, this is what I'm saying. We all know how hard it is to have a franchise quarterback. And at this point, you could argue that we have 2 franchise quarterbacks. And I think in the next 5 years, you get more out of the next 5 years in Foles than you would in the next 10 in Wentz. Because there's no guarantee Wentz is going to get one. He had a stellar year. But let's look at the facts. I think B.Diddy said this earlier in the year. We haven't seen a notable fourth quarter winning drive from Wentz yet. He's had good games, but one that sticks. Like, do we have a late, like just like Chicago? Got to go 13 play, 2-minute offense, 4th and 2 on the goal line, win the game. Foles has done this repeatedly in his career. I don't think we can define Wentz yet to have some of those.
In his career, in the last year.
No, he did the same. It was they did a special his rookie year in Tampa. He did the same play to Macklin as a rookie. He's been doing this from the beginning. Durability questions about Wentz. Wentz has been hurt.
Foles too. So they probably cancel out. Foles been hurt.
But not like out for the year multiple times.
Yeah, he broke his collarbone.
This is the second year that Wentz has been out for the year.
He broke his collarbone. He was out for the year.
Shit.
That's when
Wentz broke his back.
That's when Michael Vick took over. Like, Foles been hurt.
No, I'm not saying Foles is hurt. Hasn't been hurt, but
so I think they cancel each other out.
Okay. Well, we can argue to disagree, but not disagree. But
how can you disagree? Look at Foles' injury record.
Yo, he tore his LCL, his ACL, and now he just broke his goddamn back. Foles don't got major injuries like that.
He did have a collarbone is major.
Not like that.
It is major. He was out for the year.
All right. And then the turnover question. With Wentz, he leads the league in lost turnovers since he's been in the league. I mean, lost fumbles. I'm sorry. So, with that all being said, are you still not taking the deal?
I probably wouldn't take it because I feel like
solid.
I feel like I'll still get a first-round pick for Foles.
Even though you would get 2 for Wentz?
I'm
and a Pro Bowler?
I'm getting a first-round pick, and I'm getting something else for Foles. Foles is just not going to go for a first-round pick. And then at the same time, with Foles, what I think they'll do is franchise him after the season.
Yeah, they are. That's what the rumor is they're gonna tag him and keep and then trade him. Yeah.
You tag him. Team like Oakland, shitload of picks.
Yeah,
you
dude.
Definitely get a first round.
That's kind of if they give up on Carr or not.
He's done. They're gonna give up on him.
You think so?
I think so. I think they're gonna look to move it. But you can get a first round from. They got 3 first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
They got theirs, Dallas, and Chicago's.
Okay.
Take one of those picks.
Right.
You could probably get a third rounder in there as well.
Go ahead.
And now you ship Foles off, let him be happy over there, and you focus and build around Wentz. I mean, he's still young. It's not like he's
30.
Not Wentz, I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wentz is still young.
I fuck with what you're saying, Steve-O, but Wentz, bye-bye. There's a statue in Philly of Nick goddamn Foles. I'm sticking with the guy who got us a ring. I don't care what anybody say. If he give me another one, I'm sticking with that man. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, as we continue to transition from the quarterback position, let's look at the game. So, we already know Sean Payton came out on some bounty shit, came in there and brought in the money that they're going to win in a bowl. It's some bounty shit, bro. Come on, bro.
Like he said,
stop it.
Bro, it's motivation.
Motivation? Yeah.
He's not paying them extra. He's showing you this is what you getting paid.
Some bounty shit, bro. That's some bounty shit.
I'm sure it's going to motivate them.
It's some brownie.
You put it in front of their face and you say, look, here, 20,000 in a case.
225,000.
I thought it was 20.
No, 200.
They get 20 each, right?
I thought it was 225,000 they wrote out.
Extra 20
what the hell is $20,000 to them boys? You think they're gonna get hype on 20 grand?
Yeah, some of them will. You fucking right.
It was.
Extra.
I'm pretty sure it was 225,000.
It might have been. But guess what? This is all in front of your face. And look, this is what we playing for. Either you play, you get this, or you go home and just take this bread. Because you're going to get your check regardless, but This is in front of us. This is what we playing for. I'm okay with that. I wouldn't say it's a bounty.
I label it as a bounty.
Yeah, that's because what he came from it.
Of course, yeah,
bounty,
absolutely.
That,
Absolutely.
I think if you find a way to get to your players, you got to do whatever you got to do.
I feel you. Do you see this as a revenge game for us?
I hope it's not. I don't like the revenge game word.
Right.
I don't like the whole, all right, we got to get back. Because now, with that, I feel like a lot of the players would be trying to overcompensate.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there, play the game like y'all been playing the last couple of weeks. Play collectively as a team.
Right.
Don't try to do too much.
Okay.
Play within your limitations. Play within the scheme of the defense, the flow of the offense, all the different formations. Just play your game. Like if we can beat them, is what you instill into your players. Look.
Right.
We can beat these guys.
Okay.
Like, I don't want you to feel like you're doing too much. If you can get the first down, couple extra yards, but take care of the ball. Hold on to the ball.
Right.
To fight for extra yards when you got 3 people on you, and now somebody ripping the ball out. That's when it goes to doing too much.
Right.
Don't try to, Avonte Maddox, great plays. Should have had 2 picks.
Yeah.
But now you got burnt for being over aggressive twice.
Oh, they saw that. Double moves.
Right. Big situations. Now you got burnt because now you thinking, that's how Asante Samuel used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Gambled a lot, but let's not gamble.
His shit paid off though.
At times, yeah, but at times he got fucking burnt too.
True.
But I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
I was about to say, yeah, right.
But stick to your fundamentals. Stop looking in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at in the backfield. Look at your, stay with your player. So now I don't want y'all to be like, all right, we gotta go out here for revenge. But yeah, have a chip on your shoulder. Absolutely, be mad and take offense to getting beat the way you got beat the first time.
Right.
But ain't no revenge, bro. It's a new game. This is another game. We gonna go out
one and done.
Play. Yeah.
So I think you went through a lot of keys of the games that we were going to transition right into. And I think a lot of things that you said is things that I actually wrote down. And no, Brian, the Lombardi Trophy is not going to Dallas, and that $2.5 billion yacht. You know what I mean? It ain't happening.
Nah, no dice.
But I think you need a Super Bowl performance from the Eagles to win this game. They have to match Breeze, obviously, because I'm gonna listen to this. Since week 6, since their bye week, these are the scores at home: 45, 48, 31, 31. They're going to score points at home. They're going to put up at least probably 30 at home. So we have to match that. And like you said, we need to take care of the ball, but I think we also need to create turnovers, get fumbles, hopefully get a pick or two from Breeze. Get some the balls to bounce our way. But, we have to stay away from 3rd and long, I think, as well. But here's some interesting numbers. Since 2006, if Sean Payton and Drew Brees is starting quarterback, they're 5-0 at home in the playoffs. Foles is 4-1 in the playoffs, 4 games straight over 100 QBR. He has the 3rd highest passing accuracy percentage at 72.6, only behind Montana and Aikman, Hall of Famers. I think Sean put this as a bounty game. Looking at this game, bro, man, the fan in me says Birds. Money says New Orleans. I ain't going to hold you. You asked me to. I have I think a responsibility to be honest to people who watch us, who follow our plays and follow our bets. I like the Eagles +8.
Absolutely.
I am not 100% sure about the Eagles money line.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
You know what I'm saying? I am not 100% sure. I can't hold you. New Orleans, they say, is the voodoo stadium. You go in there and some weird, freaky shits happen. It's just what it is. New Orleans is a tough place to win, especially in the playoffs. That crowd is going to be loud. It's going to be completely different than what we just faced in terms of defense. Their offense is
a party stadium. They say it's like a party atmosphere.
It is, bro. It is.
4 hours long.
I think it could go either way. You can't bet against Foles.
What I'm gonna say is, I honestly think that it may come down to whoever has the ball last.
And I completely agree. I could see us going up, and then Breeze does a drive and maybe kick a field goal. Remember, Foles is 4-1. That loss was in New Orleans on a game-winner field goal. Mm-hmm. I see this game maybe 33-24, 33-30 type game. Could go either way for me, but the play is the Eagles +8. I think this game is a lot closer than obviously the first game, but it would not surprise me two things: if New Orleans wins by a touchdown or New Orleans blows us the fuck out. It would not surprise me. They're just that good at home, and I'm gonna keep it a bean. The play is the Eagles +8, or if you have the bread, money line New Orleans. But I'm playing the +8, and I'm building my parlay because I'm going with the same formula that I did last week. I had a 4-play. All my plays are straight plays, but there were some clients that actually played and listened to the podcast because we went 4-0 last week, who played all 4 plays in a parlay. $50 won you, I believe it was like $1,200 because we had the Eagles money line. And we had a couple dogs. And I said that we both said it quietly, but we liked Dallas in that game. And we had Dallas at 1.5.
Dallas didn't cover, though, did they?
Yeah, because it was 1.5.
Okay, because when I seen it last, it was 2.5.
It was 2.5. Yeah. So it went from 1.5 to 2 to 2.5 by kickoff. Mm-hmm. Next game. Indy versus KC. Interesting game. I like Indy in this game, bro. I know KC is tough at home. It's going to be cold. I think it's going to be, possibly snow. But I think, I love Andy Reid as a coach, but he shrinks, man, in playoff time. He's 1-4 with KC. They haven't had a home win in the playoffs since 1993. That KC defense is kind of leaky. The Colts have the best offensive line in the game. I don't think they get the Luck. I think Luck might not get sacked in this game unless it's maybe a 1 or 2 coverage sacks. They keep Luck all right. He kills him from the pocket. I like the Colts here, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts win the game, but I'm taking the points because I think they'll be able to score with KC. I like it, easy 33-30, 34-28 type game. I like the Colts +5.
I'm going to have to disagree with you.
KC?
Yeah, I'm going to go KC, man. I mean, Andy Reid off a bye, man. He's just genius off of a bye.
He is, man. I thought of that, and I think KC's going to be able to score, but I just think Indy is going to keep pace because they're not – so there's a stat that just that came out at the end of the season. Andrew Luck has only been sacked like 25 times. The next closest team is like 40-something. So there's a big difference. Like he literally has they're a dark horse from the AFC to go all the way to the Super Bowl, because he is a Pro Bowler, All Pro quality quarterback with the weapons around him. Marlon Mack has been running out of his mind. They're facing a leaky defense, and their defense is, I wouldn't say underrated, but it's above average, I think. They have 2 rookie All-Pros, the guard and Leonard, the linebacker. I just think it's a really good spot for KC. For the Colts, because I think they can score with the Colts. With the KC.
You're going to Arrowhead.
Yeah, I know.
And you go Andy Reid off of a bye.
Yeah, but he's 1-4 in the playoffs at home.
He is, but
he stinks at home.
Off of a bye, Andy Reid is genius, bro. You give him an extra week, for real, probably 2, because the last game of the season he probably really.
I feel you, bro.
But it's
We can go head to head.
Yeah, you giving them that time to really dial up. I like KC, man, and I actually like KC to make it to the bowl.
To the bowl.
Yeah.
I can dig it. So last game, fucking Cowgirls and the goddamn Rams. Now everybody I've seen, from professional bettors, from handicappers, from people with shows, everybody's on Dallas. Everybody and their mom's on Dallas. And I don't know if it's like just the media pushing because it's a quote-unquote America's team. I just don't see it, bro. And everybody's talking about Gurley's knees. Gurley came out and said his knee's been hurting since week 1. And the motherfucker still had 21 touchdowns. He ain't slow. A Gurley at 90, 85% is still the second best running back in the league. Arguably the first. Still. You know what I mean? But I got to give it to Zeke because he led the league in rushing. And he just really don't get hurt. He just keeps trucking along. And we talked about it earlier, how Zeke can carry the team, but I just don't think it's enough to keep scoring with the way and how fast the Rams can score. I really like the Rams in this game. Like I said, I don't think Zeke can carry him. The LA defense is soft, especially against the run. But I like the matchup on defense with Talib and Cooper. You know, I don't think Cooper's going to explode like against us. He might have 6 or 7 catches for 80 yards. But I don't think that's enough. He needs to have a big game. Dak needs to have a big game for them to win. They have a hurt Beasley. I mean, Gallup is there, but he ain't really done nothing. Obviously, Hearns is hurt. So that receiving core is actually hurt. I just don't see the matchup there that doesn't favor the Rams. So I actually think the Rams win this game easily. And I'm delaying the chalk, bro. I like the Rams -7.
I'm riding with you on this one.
Yeah.
I'm riding with you.
My motherfucking man. Yeah.
I like the matchups that the Rams.
I do too, man. I think
offense.
they do.
I mean, that Dallas defense is sneaky good, though. I won't even say they sneaky no more. Like they're good.
They're good.
They run to the ball. They fly around the field.
Their linebackers are great. I can't deny that. I think they have the best linebacking core in the league.
No,
Who's better?
Chicago.
Chicago. I don't know, man.
Chicago. Yes.
I don't know.
Chicago linebackers.
Was it? What's the white boy name? Von whatever. Vander
from Boise State.
Yeah, he is a monster.
No, he is. And we all laughed at that pick when they picked him first round.
No, he was slated to go to us at one time. There was a mock that had him us having.
Even with Kurt and them, they what the fuck did they just pick?
Right.
But we kind of laughed at that pick, but he's turned out to be.
He's been the best pick.
Yeah, definitely.
And Jalen Smith was he's coming right along behind him.
But I'll take Chicago linebackers, Trevathan and Roquan Smith over them right now.
Yeah, I think I might go with Dallas on that one. But I like the Rams in this game.
Yeah, the Rams, I think it's going to be hard for Dallas to slow
Aaron man.
down.
Oh, I thought you meant the offense. I think it's going to be hard for them to stop the offense.
The offense, I mean,
it's going to be hard for them to slow down Gurley, bro. Like, they just got too many weapons.
But it depends on how healthy Gurley is.
Yo, man, people keep saying that.
We slowed him down. And this was before he, quote-unquote, was injured.
Yeah, but that was a good spot for us. You know what I mean? I don't think the spot's good for...
I think Dallas' defense is better than ours, if you want to be honest. And they can get pressure.
Their rushing defense is not better than ours.
They can generate pressure with their front four without blitzing anybody.
Yeah, we get more pressure up the middle, though.
No, we do. But I'm saying they can still generate pressure on Jared Goff with their front four. With Lawrence and Irvin, those guys just rushing up.
And then Irvin just had a drug thing, right?
He missed the drug test.
Yeah, so we'll see if he plays.
That equals a fail. So
right, absolutely.
It equals a fail.
He shouldn't be playing.
But you know, it takes some time for them to really.
Jerry money long.
Absolutely.
Jerry money long.
So he might get away with this game.
That motherfucking $2.5 billion yacht. Did you see that shit?
It's insane.
That shit is fucking nuts. I'll be a Cowboy fan to get on that motherfucking yacht.
I'll fuck Jerry Jones. I ain't getting on that. Nah, for real. I ain't getting on that yacht. But I like the Rams. I think it's going to be tough for Dallas to match the points.
Absolutely. I don't think they're going to be able to score. Dak has to show up. Dak has to have a big game, 300 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns for them to win. And he ain't doing that. That doesn't happen to Dak, you know what I mean, on an everyday basis. Give me the Rams. So remember, we're building the play. We got the Colts, we got the Eagles, and we got the Rams. And I think this is the lock of the week, bro. San Diego and New England. Belichick at home against Anthony Lynn. Brady is 7-0 at home. 7-0 against Rivers. I like the Pats, man. I don't know how and not even that. San Diego, this is the third time San Diego's been on the road, coming from west to east. This is the third game they got to bring. They've gone 10,000 miles in the last 3 weeks.
And they won.
They're not winning in Boston.
I'm just saying that don't matter. They coming from west to east.
That shit gonna catch up.
They've won. They've played better when they've done that in they games.
Not tomorrow or Sunday.
Now New England's a different monster just because of who they facing, but that factor in west to east don't matter because they've been.
That shit matters.
They don't because they won.
Okay.
They didn't lose a game coming from west to east.
They're gonna lose this one
because they're facing the Patriots. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think this is the lock of the week. I think the Patriots is a perfect spot. You know, what's his name? Melvin Gordon is still hobbled. Belichick always finds a way. Defense is scheming up. You can think there's chinks in the armor all you want, but it's Bill and Tom. And until somebody knocks off them at home in the playoffs, you go with the favorite, and it's only -4. It might even get as low as -3.5. If it gets -3.5, buy a half a point, get the -3. Beautiful number. Put the mortgage on it. New England, lock it in. There's a reason. There's a reason why Phil Rivers has only been to one Super Bowl and he's only 2-6 in divisional games. There's a reason. I like Phil Rivers. Always been a fan of his, but there's a reason why he doesn't have a ring. Believe it. And there's a reason why Tom has 5. Patriots. Lock it in. So there it is. The 4-team parlay play. If you want to play it, Colts, Eagles, Patriots, Rams, lock it in. Moss Money, the homie S.Dot. We out here.
Peace.